It's that time. It's that time. That's right. Yours truly, LeBron James. King James. Yep, that guy. Once again, has provided us nothing but the best. The absolute best this season. He bragged about his offense. He never really played defense. And the one time he started pushing it, got a few steals, breakaway dunks. The time he does that, he messes his knee up. It's done. LeBron James is going to miss at least another week. The swelling has not gone down in his knee, which tells me there's a slight tear somewhere in his knee. The doctors them know what it is, but they're not telling us. So it's more like an MCL sprain, more like a tear of some sort. Now they want to try to get the swelling down. He could play with a slight tear. But this is what happens when you're in year 655. When you're in year 655, this is what happens, people. This is what happens when you're in year 55, 65. This is what's on the table. They're not playing games here. No, 82 games isn't easy. Especially when you're 37 to the fifth power and you're trying to break the scoring record. You want to pass Kareem so bad when all you had to do was coach yourself. But I got to go out and get 30 a night. Yep. So I can get MVP. Yeah, I'll get MVP. And I'm going to average 30. Now, we don't wish that, injury on anybody. Injury happens to everybody in the game. But because LeBron James is injured, now the whole world is supposed to stop and shift all over again. Why is that? As you see, they didn't send out any notifications that this video even went down. It's okay. I get them. I know what they own. But LeBron James is exactly in the position we thought he was going to be in. Why the Lakers can't stay healthy? Well, karma. Karma for one. Two, you got a bunch of old players. That's what happened to older players. They break down. As you can see, Anthony Davis has been injury prone since he came into the league. You got LeBron James, who basically has never really had a significant injury since he got to the Lakers. Once he got to the Lakers, that was it. See, the problem is that's the leg he take off on. When he got the last dunk and his momentum went one way, he came down and let go. When he landed on his knee, it aggravated, it cramped. And he didn't feel the pain until the adrenaline wore down. And Tracy, who was at the game, told me, she's like, LeBron just grimaced. Like, like something's wrong with his knee. And I was like, it is? I'm like, oh, it's probably nothing big. Then it was like LeBron James is sitting out because of his knee. I knew right away. And I credited Tracy for it because she saw it. And I knew it had to be something serious because it's overnight, it's swelled. And for me having that, sometimes that comes from a hyperextension where you get swelling in the back of the knee. And that's nothing but ice. That's treatment. You can ice that down and do a couple of therapy sessions. Sometimes they use they actually use electric shock to get that out of get the swelling down. They use ice and they use electric shock to get that swelling out. If it's his ACL, he could probably play with a tear or whatever down the road, but he would have to be careful because that thing will flame right back up. They could drain his knee. He can get his knee drained. He's probably going to do that and then just get some rest. But if it's something that's annoying him, every time he bends his leg, he's gonna feel that pain. Every time LeBron bends his knee, he's gonna feel that pain. Well, people gotta decide what is it that they want out of life more than anything, you know. So you got decisions to make about your knee. You know, in the off season, is you going to go through a knee surgery, or is this it for LeBron? Is he going to play one more year? What's going to happen here? I look at things a little differently because when I see it, it's more like, okay, I get it. I know the agenda. I see where they're trying to go. I see what they're trying to do, how they're trying to do it. But there's no question that they're doing it wrong. They're trying to conceal everything and keep things from the media and keep it all in house. But what good does it mean? Sit LeBron down, let him get some rest, because what you're doing is duping ticket holders. See, ticket holders are being duped into believing LeBron might play. See, if you dupe the people into believing LeBron James might play, and then they buy the tickets, this is deception. Some stupid people buy the tickets just to see LeBron. Mm. Well, here's the thing. Russ scored 30 points and a half. No Lakers have done that since Kobe Bryant. Well, these games coming up, the Lakers gonna have to win them without LeBron, but they're dangerously close to not making the playoffs, or not even making the final game. Like, they're gonna have to win some games without LeBron James. Russ is the best shot they have. Yeah, now that he got LeBron out of the way, he could play. You know, you can't have two players that play the same way on the court at the same time. It makes no difference. Plus, their problem is still defense. And with Anthony Davis out there standing around on the court, not playing defense, not competing at the rim, you just you just created another LeBron and stuck him on the court. He only wants to be a big man on offense. He said, that's how I knew they were screwed. Two LeBron. LeBron flexing his knee was a sign. When he tried to do shoot arounds and was flexing his knee. I knew then they were they had problems. Well, LeBron can't move as it is. So when he had a healthy knee, he really couldn't move. And now he really can't move. Now he's even slower. How do you think that's going to do when he can't push off on his leg? They thought it was something where a couple days of rest off the knee and the swelling would go down. The swelling wasn't going down, so they sent him to LA to get the MRI because they were on the road when this happened. See, this is the worst thing that happened for LeBron is that they were on the road. So they couldn't really get the MRI and everything else that they needed to do until they got home. Now that they got home and they were able to right, they got home and they were able to see where they needed to the real scope of the injury. And they saw something on the report. I've always thought LeBron James is a stat pattern. I also thought that mainly this is a major problem with dealing with him is that you're gonna bankrupt your team, you're gonna ruin yourself, and in doing so, you're making money hand over fist. But when he leave, your team will be decimated. You won't have anything to keep you winning. Your team will be reduced to cinder. Now, when the Miami Heat got rid of LeBron, they had to rebuild, but Pat Riley didn't trade away all his picks. He didn't do all those things LeBron wanted him to do. LeBron had no power in Miami, almost none. Pat Riley did what he could to keep him happy, but you were going to toe the line like every other player. You weren't going to have those freedoms. He went back to Cleveland because he couldn't have those freedoms. And he went back and got all the control he wanted. And he drove Cleveland to almost just the bottom of the bucket. Now Cleveland is better than ever. Garland is probably the most improved player in the history of the game as far as dominance and impact on a game. But Cleveland as a whole is playing lights out better than half of the teams in the league. If not one of the top 5 teams in the NBA. They've been handling people. And everybody's like, what? Cleveland's doing this to us? They're formidable. Well, LeBron has the irritation. It could be a ACL injury. And that comes from overloading the work on the knee. But you have to see how it responds to treatment so you can get out in front of the injury. It's not as bad as last year when you knew LeBron would be out for a large number of games. But you thinking, okay, LeBron missed a bunch of games. This is a knee injury. So he's going to have to be off his leg, meaning that he can't be running. He can't do these exercises to keep his wind up. So when LeBron comes back, he's somebody that's already tired and gets tired early. So what do you think is going to happen to him now? Well, when you look at it and you see structural damage, like an ACL or anything of that nature, what you're typically seeing is the muscle that connects the lower part of the knee to the top of the upper part of the knee. That's the articular cruciate ligament, which is known as the ACL. If that's inflamed or if that is irritated in any way, you'll see immediate swelling. Now, sometimes you can hyperextend your knee and the back of your knee starts to inflame. But that ACL injury, that's a little bit more serious. An MCL sprain on the side, he could probably withstand. But that ACL, that's an annoying pain. If he's got a tear, or hopefully it's just inflamed, because I want him on the court. I want to see him on the court walking off as time is getting ready to expire and his season is over. I want that walk of shame. I want to see that walk of shame. I don't think it's a kneecap injury. I don't think it's an inflamed bursa, what they call it. I don't think it's this. I think it's more of an ACL. More than it's a kneecap injury. Exactly. Hit the like button for that reason, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want that excuse. That's what I don't want either. You said that just right. I don't want the excuses. And that's how I feel. I don't want any excuses. Oh, LeBron MRI? Well, the thing is that LeBron has no structural damage. If he had structural damage, he wouldn't be walking around. He'll be walking around on a cane right now. But this is what happened to LeBron James. See this knee here? This is your ACL muscle right here. Right? When you keep coming down on that knee or you come down a certain way, that bone will connect with the other bone and pinch that muscle. So by pinching this muscle, it will inflame. And you can go deep into it and see the root of his left knee and see the root of the problem. As you can see there, you see the muscle? So this is where I believe the problem is more than anything else, is his ACL. And this happens, it's affecting him whenever he tries to shoot or come up and down. It'll feel tightness in it, and the only way he can get it untight is to bend his knee and stretch his leg out because it's swollen. So he'll feel tightness right in the middle, right here. It'll feel like you got to pop your knee. It's an irritating feeling. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know what in the world you're talking about, but thank you for the super chat. The like button is free. You guys can hit that at any time. LeBron will be ready for the playoffs. Well, Adam better get to work because this team, you got a brittle player in LeBron. In AD, you got a LeBron that's not 100%. That's his takeoff leg. Okay, what's going to happen if he comes back down on it and he got an ACL injury? See, they duped people last time when he was hurt, and I said, "Oh no, he heard something pop." I'm like, "No, he tore his groin," and they know it. They're lying. LeBron ain't no day-to-day. That's a tear. He's out. Some people decided that it was best for them and better for the world if LeBron James' injury wasn't reported. Some fans didn't feel that way. They felt like they were being misled and lied to, that LeBron was day to day. So they can go out and buy tickets, which they could sue the Lakers for fraud. Because if this person had a torn ligament and you know this person was out, why are you lying to the public saying that this person is day to day? I knew right away because I had gotten word that the MRI stated that it was a tear. Well, there's so many people out there that may look at things a little differently, like I said, than how everybody else might look at it. I look at the Los Angeles Lakers as a team that's going to get a lot of help. Yeah, when you get a lot of help, this is always going to be the case. Always going to be the case. You're never going to be taken seriously like that. But everybody wants to beat the Lakers. So it's like you're playing 82 playoff games. Everybody wants to save their best for you. They want to beat LeBron. They want to beat AD. They want to beat this powerhouse team to get all the media attention. That's what they want. And just remember, they was losing with them. They were losing with LeBron. Now, today is February the 1st, right? When is the Lakers' next game? Is that 2 more days from now? Wednesday. So they didn't play. Did they play yesterday? Yesterday was Monday. They didn't play Monday. They don't play today, which is Tuesday. So they got 2 days off after coming back from the road trip. So they got 2 days of rest. Now they got to play the Portland Trailblazers. Now I'm picking the Lakers to beat the Portland Trailblazers. Then it's a back to back because right after that they play the Clippers at 11 in the morning. Well, shoebox and then so on the 6th they'll be playing the Knicks. Then they play the Milwaukee Bucks on the 9th. The Lakers will have to go 3-1 to be taken seriously in this whole stretch. If the Lakers lose 3 out of 4 here, season's over. The season is over. The Lakers' problem is going to come from teams, not these big name teams. They'll contend with those guys for as long as they can. Their problems is the Sacramento Kings, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Timberwolves. They can't beat those teams. That's their problem. Their problem is those teams that they supposed to be a W on the in the win column. They can't beat them. They in knockout, drag out fights with them. Now the Clippers, that's more up their alley. They should be able to win that. No, it's only tough on paper, buddy. Tough on paper. They really don't. The Lakers played a bunch of cupcakes early so they can get off to a good lead. But in the end, you're going to have to play all the heavyweights. So you're going to end up playing everybody anyway. Plus, they're losing the teams that are sub 500 when you're in a dogfight with the Sacramento Kings every night. Because their problem is they can't guard point guards who are fast. You got a fast point guard, you're going to blow by the Lakers, and they got no point guard that can keep up with these young guys. And that's putting pressure on the older guys that have to step up and play. Basketball is a game that was not meant to be played by guys deep in their 30s. That's why when you had those tournaments, they got the 30 and older tournament. Because they know there's a difference. When you hit 30 and playing basketball, sprinting up and down the court with knee problems and everything else, they already know. So they play Portland again on the 10th of February, right? Then they play the Golden State Warriors on the 13th. That's a loss for the Lakers. Then they play the Utah Jazz at home. That might be a win for the Lakers, depending on what's going on. Then they play the Clippers. That should be a win for the Lakers. Then they play the Pelicans. That should be a win for the Lakers. So they should have a very good February because they should have LeBron back for these games. And they got to put some strings of victories together. You know, I'm rooting for their failure. But well, everyone think the NBA season this will be one of LeBron's most memorable seasons. But if they let the Lakers win the championship this year, it it taints your league more than anything. Because what we're seeing is an inferior basketball team. And you're going to let this team beat all of these guys who are balling out in the league. Oh, with the Lakers, you never know. Uh, oh, I think they cut out that stupidity of Team LeBron, Team Curry, and all that stupidity that they were doing for like the All Star game and all that stuff. They're going back to the East and West because it wasn't successful. It was a LeBron James thought up move that was all ego based, all based around him. Team LeBron. Mm-mm. Well, it's real easy who they want. Andrew Wiggins is a starter, which is a shock to a lot of people, but he was a starter. And John Morant, his first All Star selection, because the All Star game is colluded with a bunch of old people who need to be out the league. But it's unfortunate because he has been playing the best. Dame has fell off, and because of that, you got Curry and John Morant now as your guards. So even though that they're point guards, they both got 2 point guards in there because they like, look, they just got to make it work. Do I think LeBron's gonna play in the All Star game? Probably. It depends on his knee. You know, is he gonna miss? I know he's gonna miss another week, but from that point on, how further longer will it be? I don't know. Oh yeah, thank you guys for the cash app on the Carcino cash app. I appreciate that. That's love. Somebody said that Joe Rogan sent me that. Thank you for Joe Rogan sending me $10. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. I never felt like that. I felt that they never should have messed with the format. The problem with the All Star game was never the format. The problem was that they weren't playing. They were just standing around having conversations on the court while people were going up and down the court. That's never was the All Star game. But all these entitled people coming into this, fraternizing, people didn't pay their money for this. That's what I'm saying. People stupid anyway for going out to that. But hey, that's people. They just want to be around the party. They want to be around stars. Mm. Oh no. They had a chance to get Mike Conley, but the Lakers didn't want to get Mike Conley. They had a chance to get. This is all under LeBron's watch. They had a chance to get DeMar DeRozan. Matter of fact, he thought this was a done deal with the Lakers. LeBron was like, "Nah, we got a chance to get Russ." And then they ended up with Russell Westbrook. So they got the players he wanted on the team. Last season, they had a chance to get Bradley Beal. But nope, too much money on the books. No way. They were going to pull the trigger on Bradley Beal. Then they had a chance to get Buddy Hield last year. Nope, didn't want to pull the trigger because they didn't want to lose THT. So LeBron nixed the deal. LeBron has done all of this to the Lakers. So everything that's playing out now, all the players y'all crying for, you already could have had. Now he's put y'all in a jam. Nope. What was his big move? I want to get Marc Gasol. You wanted to get Marc Gasol, somebody who was done, completely done. But that's your king. That's your king. Traded away the whole team to get street clothes. Brought him over there. And all you got was recycled trash. Oh, LeBron ain't faking an injury. Oh, he's not faking an injury. Don't believe that. No, he's hurt. Well, it's not a lot of people that win 70 games, but look at his recycled garbage. A bunch of over the hill players with a bunch of young players. Nobody has any clue or identity as to what they're going on. And Kendrick Nunn, will he even play this season? What's going on, people? This man has burnt the team down to ashes. And y'all know it. That's the most shocking part about it, is that y'all know it. This is where the blame lies. All you so-called Laker fans, this is where your blame lies. It's over, baby. Party over with, out of time. Clock is on 00. Party's over with, out of time. Your bacon smelling fine. Others often ask, but never receive any real feedback, but they often ask. They love to say those words. Where is all of this going? What is the meaning of all this? Huh? Give you the Joe Button. Huh? What is the meaning of all of this? Where is all of this going? LeBron James has provided nothing new to the table. What you're seeing now is what everyone has seen. It makes no sense. The Lakers trying people out. They want to try to go to the buyouts. Oh, well, let's go to the buyout market. So now the Lakers are trying to call in favors to get people to buy people out so that they can pick them up to make their run. Whenever you're trying to do what you can for the team, how can you blame Vogel when he's not being allowed to coach? It was said he had to go upstairs to get word. He had to go upstairs to the office to get word. Could he bench Russ? And they said, well, yeah, okay, we give you permission to do that. Are you the head coach and you don't have the permission to sit down a player? You got to go upstairs to get the permission? Then what kind of coach are you? You're not really the coach. Mm-hmm. Well, people are gonna have to find out for themselves. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that Kawhi Leonard is a better basketball player than LeBron James. And you see what happened when he got bumped and his knee went out. You saw what happened. Mm-hmm. No, I never felt like that. I felt that I always felt that there were many people in the industry that protected LeBron. Everybody like, look, he don't have any dirt like all the other players. No, it's dirt. It's just that the media is different now. The media is no longer in control. These people are subservient to the league. Like they, uh, hi LeBron. Is there a reason why? They're so scary now. So his dirt never got thrown in his face because they control the outcome. So they can paint that narrative. Are you going back to the bubble, right? That what you going to? Why would anybody count the bubble? Mm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, no. Uh, that's funny, but no. No, we're gonna. No, we're gonna shut it down. All right. Talk to y'all later.